Hey friends, I've been thinking about making this video for a while. As you can tell, things are just crazy in the world right now. I just can't believe all that's going on all at once. And I can't think of a time in history when all of the world was so affected by everything that's going on. And it's causing a lot of feelings, right? In talking with friends and family and business associates, one of the things I'm hearing over and over is things are just so crazy. I feel so overwhelmed. I feel anxious. There's just a rush of all kinds of emotions. There's anger and sadness and what do I do with all this? And then some people choose to just be distracted and decide to do, I'm just gonna be on media, I'm gonna watch TV, or I'm gonna clean my house, or I'm just gonna distract myself with other things. And some people just tune out and they go numb. Some people are turning to addiction. Some people are just saying, I don't even know what to do. I feel frozen, like I don't know at all what to do. And I can tell you, like, towards when it first started, I was thinking, okay, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. You know, since we homeschool and we work from home, life was not a huge upheaval like it's been for most people. You know, we weren't just thrown into everything all at once. But, you know, you have the staying away from people when you want to see people, and you have people you know that are getting sick, dying. There's political and racial tensions. It just causes so much anxiety and so much unknown and uncertainty that it affects everybody. It affects us too. And I know towards like the end of April, I was starting to not even want to get out of bed. And I'd have days where I felt like my heart was just racing, like just panic almost. And I was like, I don't want to keep feeling this way. And we don't know how long this is going to last. It's starting to affect my health. I need to do something about it, right? But like so many people I'm hearing from, I felt kind of numb and overwhelmed and not sure what to do. And so I started thinking, okay, Megan, what do you always do when you start to feel that downward slide, that spiral of things getting bad? What do you always do? And I said to myself, well, I always start on my little let's get life better routine, you know, and kind of look at my life and start making things better little by little so I can feel like I'm making progress. But that just seemed like so overwhelming. I couldn't take that many steps at that time. It was just too much. And so I thought, okay, I'm just going to do a smaller version and I'm going to do a reset. So this is what I did. I'm going to share with you the 6 steps that I did. They're super simple, not difficult at all. Anybody can do them. And it helped me so much, so much. And it helped me not only feel better right away, but it also helped me make those bigger goals and be able to get on my regular routine and start back into real life again. I feel like I'm living life again. You know, we still have limitations, obviously, with things that are going on, and there's still a lot of uncertainty, but I don't feel the fear. I don't feel the anxiety like I did before. You know, I feel like we can do this. We can do this. So if you are feeling any of those negative feelings like I was, and you want to try this out, try it out. I know it'll help. I know it'll help. So step number one is a social media fast. Not social media. For me, I did all media. Social media is great to get rid of for a while anyway, but media right now is nuts, and so much arguing, so much negativity. So for me this time around, usually I just do a social media fast. I did a full-on media fast for a full week. Now, I would recommend that you do at least 3 days. It's like a detox, you know? It takes at least 3 days, for me at least, where I'm not like wanting to check things. After 3 days, it's a breeze. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't even miss it anymore. So this is just to cleanse yourself, to get rid of all that negativity and also the barrage of information that we're getting all the time from the media that makes us tired because our mind is constantly having to make decisions, form opinions, and go through all of this information. So that's the reason for that. That's step number 1, is a media fast. And I suggest 3 days. Number 2, I think that you should set aside, this is what I do, set aside some time, at least 20 minutes, to just think. This is a time where I'm just thinking. Usually I start with a prayer and or meditation of some kind so I can relax. I try to be alone during this time. Doesn't always happen, but I try to be alone and not rushed, and make sure that I'm not too tired, not hungry, thirsty, or whatever. So I can just think. And this kind of thinking is a constructive thinking. This isn't a worrying thinking. This is trying to figure out exactly what is bothering me, right? Now, once I've set aside this thinking time, I do step number 3. Step number 3 is a complete brain dump. That's what I call it, is I get a piece of paper out. I guess you could make like voice notes in your phone if you don't like to write or something like that. But for me, I like pen and paper. I get it out. I write down everything that I'm thinking about, all my concerns, all my to-dos, errands, texts, emails, business projects, everything that I'm working on, everything that's taking up space in my bandwidth, I write it all down. Then, while I do this brain dump, I make sure that I do a gratitude time as well. That's where I write down everything that I'm grateful for, all of my blessings, everything that's going good, or at least it's not going bad, so that's good, and everything. Because once you get on that gratitude escalator, you start realizing that things are not as bad as they looked before. You do have many, many things to be grateful for. So that's why I do that. Now, all these other things that are worrying me, that are on my lists and lists and lists and lists, I have a sheet that I categorize them into, but you don't have to categorize them. This is to get them out of your head on paper so you have them all there. Once they're there, I want you to cross out everything that you do not have control over, because this is a thing. I would say probably half of the stuff I worry about, I really can't control much. But there are certain things I can control, one of which being what I think about. And so if I have no control over that thing, I cannot change it, I cross it off. It's a worry. I shouldn't be thinking about that. Now, of course, easier said than done, right? But we're going to talk about how we can deal with that. Now, after that, you've done your brain dump, and you, during your thinking time, I want you to do something that you love to do. Now, this can be anything. Of course, you don't want to put yourself at risk. I'm not suggesting you spend a lot of money or time or expense or anything like that on it. Just something you love. It can be as simple as taking a bath, or eating some chocolate, or going on a hike, or dancing, or anything that you love to do. Just do it. Schedule some specific time. You don't have to earn it. It's just to do it because you love it, and to make yourself kind of relax and let go and center yourself again. Okay, and now after you've done these 4 things, we have media fast, thinking time, brain dump, and something that we love. The 5th thing is to consume some positive information. While you're doing this media fast, take some positive input into your life. Now, for me, that is definitely going to include my scripture reading and my religious talks that I do every day. That's just my thing that I do. But also, there's awesome books out there, podcasts, YouTube channels. And what I do is, once I've done that brain dump and figured out some main things that are bothering me, I go research the things that are bothering me. Now, don't overwhelm yourself. Just pick a few. You know, this is during your media fast. Instead of watching media, get something that's going to help you. Some great books that have been lately that I've really, really loved are The Alchemist by, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Paulo Coelho. Yeah, anyway, The Alchemist. If you look up The Alchemist, it's the one, you'll see it. That's an awesome one. The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, and High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard, I think is how he says his name, as well as his accompanying podcast. Those have been really helpful for me lately in kind of setting my priorities and making my plans, and also making me more focused on what's really important, and also helping me deal with anxiety that is outside of my control, or I just have to deal with it, you know, and finding healthy ways to deal with it. So those have been some great books that have helped me lately. You know, there's like millions of books out there, but those are ones that have helped me lately. The last one, once you've done all this and you've got some positive input coming in, you're starting to think of some ideas, you can start writing those ideas down next to all your worries and to-dos and everything. Start kind of making little maps, you know, what could I do about this? What could I do about this? What could I do about this? If you can't deal with all of it at once, just pick one or two. Now, for the last one, number 6, I decide and I do something, right? I have on my list, I've had all this information. Now I need to do something about it. And what I do is I choose one thing, one thing that is glaringly obvious that I am just not working on at all, and it's making a big difference in my life. Usually when I've started to go downhill, it's sleep or diet or my spiritual habits. If my spiritual habits go out the window, everything else does. So those are big 3 for me, but it could be anything for you. You might, maybe you realized with a media fast that you need to limit your media. Maybe you need to work on a relationship. Maybe you need to exercise more. I don't know what it is for you, but for me, I knew for myself that I needed to work on centering myself more and taking that time every day to make sure that I had my practices down. For me, my spiritual practices are super important. Meditation, making sure I have that positive input. Those things center me before I even start my day. And those things were so helpful. Once I started focusing on them again, then I could deal with everyday life and all the stresses that come with it, and all the extra stress that's been put on everybody lately. Now, this is not to make light of what is happening. I'm not saying this is going to perfect your life, everything is going to be wonderful, and the world will be at peace again. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this is a restart. This is when you feel like I can't even take another step, or I don't know which step to take, or I'm very, very anxious and I need to do something with this anxiety. This is a healthy way that helps me to move on from that point, out of the muck, so I can start climbing again and getting back into my routines, but also figure out new healthy things that I can do and work on so that I can make my life even better, and that of my family and all the people I come into contact with, right? So guys, just know that you can do this. I really want this to be encouraging. I'm not saying I'm doing everything right. Definitely not. Oh my goodness, no. Things are hard for everybody right now. Everybody's having a rough time. So please, number 1, just give everybody a little grace, okay? Give everybody a little grace, including yourself. Including yourself. It's hard on you too. Even if you don't have the direct results of sickness or economic or racial or political things hitting you, all the stress from everyone around you is going to affect you. Give everyone grace, including yourself. And I hope these 6 little steps have helped you in some way. And if you want to expand on that and you want to see my whole spiel of my Get My Life in Order, I have my Prep to the Prep series that I'll link down below. And it's free, it's on YouTube. It's just something that I usually help my clients with when they're starting to get ready to homeschool, actually, to get their whole entire life in order so that they're ready to homeschool. But it helps everyone because all of us want some flow in our life, right? All of us want our life to be in order. So if you're interested in that, I'll link that below. And guys, I love you. I hope that things are going well. You are in my thoughts and prayers, and this is going to work out. Things are going to get better. And I hope that you can feel that I'm cheering for you. So we'll see you soon. Talk to you later. Bye.